Hi guys, this is just a quick follow-up video with regards to the last video that I did on the bad writing and woke agenda and all that that's in modern media, in gaming and all that. So if you haven't actually watched that video first, I recommend you watch that first because I want to elaborate on some of the points that I brought up there, because I'd done another video last night and it was quite different to this one that I'm doing today, because I went through some of the comments again this morning and there were clearly some very critical ones that I had missed out on, and I just want to elaborate and clarify some of the points that I was trying to make in the first video for those that maybe weren't 100% clear about what exactly I was trying to say. First of all, I just want to apologize for the echo. It's just because of the big room that I'm doing the recording in. For future content, I would like to set up a proper environment, where there will be less of an echo, but that will be something I'll worry about for the future. And I also want to thank you guys that did actually engage with the last video. It's so appreciative of all the comments, good and bad. I was so happy, especially with those that were civil, that were against what I was saying. I really do appreciate that you didn't resort to name calling and that sort of thing. First of all, I want to address some comments about me not being anti or pro anything, but clearly I'm this, pro that, or whatever. So what I meant by saying that I'm not pro or anti anything is that I don't box myself in either left or right-wing politics, because obviously the woke agenda is more of a thing that's been shoved by the left. We have a very different set of circumstances here in my country. I live in South Africa. It's not the same as America, where it's very clear demarcations, left versus right. It's, there's all kinds of parties and we have bigger issues that we worry about, corruption and all that. We've got so much other dramas to worry about, more than just left versus right policies. For example, the ruling party is more left central. The ANC, the official opposition, which is now part of the GNU, but that's a whole other story, is more, central left right. It's very different, and there's a whole bunch of other parties as well. You get also the other radical sides as well. But I don't want to get into that. I'm just trying to explain it's very different over here, the political climate. And also, the DEI is also a different thing here. We have something called Black economic empowerment. So white people are actually a minority in South Africa. Black economic empowerment is there to address the inequality issues that were caused by apartheid and that sort of thing. So it's a very different set of circumstances here. I'm not advocating for anything. I'm just telling you what is currently happening in this country. So BE is therefore more than 80% of the population, because more than 80% is black in my country. So it's to give them more jobs and that sort of thing. Unfortunately, over the last 30 years, it hasn't actually made much of a difference, and the inequality is actually still kept on growing. So that's a different story to talk about how that should be addressed and all that. So the next point I want to bring up is with regards to the woke thing has become an ugly thing now. The point I was trying to make in the last videos, I'm very well aware that Dragon Age has always been woke. It's obvious. There were always woke elements. Buffy had woke elements. Baldur's Gate 3 has woke elements. There's like a lot of different games that have woke elements, but people enjoy it. They don't hate it because it wasn't shoved down their throats. It wasn't done in an obnoxious way. It wasn't something that was done in such a way that it broke the immersion from the game. Because if you bring modern politics and modern terminology and things into a fantasy setting, it completely breaks immersion and escapism. There was also someone that brought that up with me as well, that politics are part of a story, and games and movies and things are supposed to also be educational and have politics and whatever. The points I was trying to bring up was specifically with regards to fantasy games and media and movies and that sort of thing. Obviously there are movies and things that are specifically about political issues. That's fine. And obviously in order to have a good quality story, you need to have some kind of internal politics that's unique to that universe. That goes without saying. Again, let's bring up Dragon Age Origins again. There is internal politics within the game. It's part of the story. It's part of the world. It's part of Ferelden. They're not bringing up modern day terms. There's no one going around and then announcing that they're non-binary and then telling you to do push-ups because you call them she instead of they or whatever. I mean, remember Shell was a genderless character, but people loved Shell. There wasn't this backlash back then because it was written in a smart and subtle way. It is possible to have woke elements in a game that's done well. I'm not completely against the base concept of woke, but now woke has turned into this ugly, twisted thing that now it's just off-putting. Even if you agree with it, you watch a show, you play a game or whatever, even if you might have agreed with it, you just put off completely from continuing with the show. And it's nauseating, it's too much. I'm against the tasteless, tactless way that it's been done, and what it's become now is turning to this ugly thing that is creating more division than anything else. It's creating more hate towards these included minorities than anything that it tried to solve or whatever. It's having the opposite effect. And there are I could see a lot of people in my comments, trans people, gay, bisexual, that are not appreciative of the way it's been implemented. And it needs to stop. Now, even if you want to see minorities or whatever put into stories or have strong female leads and that, you're not getting it done correctly. You can't take stories that are traditionally, let's talk about Snow White. You can't turn a character that's supposed to have lily white skin and then now turn her into, go against the actual writing of the original story and just to suit this agenda, because people are obviously going to go against it. So The Little Mermaid was written by a Dutch author based on Nordic myths, and now they turned her black. And I don't know why that was necessary. Why can't they just rather create original new stories about black characters? Look how well Black Panther did, because that was original about black characters. They didn't take a story that had white characters and make them black. They did their own original thing with their own original culture, their own original universe. So that is where the actual issue is. This trying to remake things, trying to redo things, trying to do sequels to things, and then trying to make it lame and gay. That's essentially what they're doing. Lame, gay, black, whatever.
And we might be the only ones who can stop it.
Holtzman, come on.
The hat is too much, right? Is it the wig or the hat?
Instead of doing something original that's specific to that race, to that gender, or something like that shows it off, it's done in such a way that it actually doesn't create this backlash and this hate against it. Because that's what's happening now. It's a reality. And now you're creating more division. There's even more people that are just blindly defending it. There's even more people that are just blindly attacking it. Don't group yourself into either of those groups. Stop and just think for yourself and think about what you actually want to see in your gaming, in your media, and that sort of thing, and just make your own decisions. I'm also not advocating against Dragon Age or Veilguard. I'm just telling people to just think for themselves. Unfortunately for me, I've been a massive Dragon Age fan, and I was so put off from buying the game after watching some scenes and some gameplay reviews by small, honest channels, not people trying to push some agenda, anti-Veilguard, anti-whatever. I watched some good, honest videos, and unfortunately, I'm now put off from buying it. So those of you, the guys that were telling me to just buy the game and play it, I refuse to pay the price tag that they put on there and try and support this nonsense that they're pushing out. I'm not interested in supporting it. It's fine, I'll get it when it's 90% off in a couple years, or maybe when it's free on Epic, but I'm not going to force myself to now waste my money and waste my time playing something that I'm just going to be irritated with, especially if it's costing that much. It's unacceptable to me. But that was my decision that I came to on my own. Nobody told me to do that. And I just want you to think for yourselves and not put yourself in either box. This whole left versus right-wing thing is absolute nonsense. It has to stop as well. People just have to think for themselves. So that is addressing the small percentage of people that actually watch the video, because I'd say about 98% of the people that actually watch the whole video seem to agree with most of the points I made. So I just want to say how appreciative I am of the comments and the responses that I've been getting. It really means the world to me, especially in the beginning when I just uploaded the video. Literally within the first few minutes, there's people that call me asinine or whatever for saying that I was brave to bring this up on Facebook or whatever, or to upload or whatever. You don't actually understand what it is to put your face out there and to say anything at all and be critical, because people just give you blind hate all the time. And that is what I was trying to say. And that is the point I'm trying to make now. It took me a day or two to actually go forward with uploading the video because I was so afraid about the backlash that I would get and the hate that I would get. And my fears were partially confirmed when the second night I uploaded the video, there was already -2 subscribers. And then there was one person that I actually want to mention quickly, by Joanne, that said such an amazing comment. They clearly had watched the video, engaged with it. They also are a trans person, something they disclosed in later comments. So I really just want to say how appreciative I am to people like that supported me and actually engaged with me, and like I was hoping to have someone to engage with. You know, if you disagree with my points, that's also fine. I just want to have an intelligent discussion about the things. We shouldn't be afraid to say what we think and to talk about it. Because if you just silence and censor the issue, then it doesn't help. There's still this massive division. And that's not okay. I mean, I saw this morning that Asmongold's entire subreddits, all the members and himself, have been banned from Dragon Age, their subreddits. So I don't know what the objective is there, because again, they're just proving that they're just censoring the whole thing. So I know there's trolls, there's haters everywhere. I'm sure there's trolls and haters there, but to ban the entire subreddit's members from the Dragon Age subreddits, it's just mind-boggling to me that doesn't appear as that's going to come across in a good way. So I don't understand that either. I also saw something crazy this morning where people are saying on TikTok that Beetlejuice 2 was racist because they didn't have enough black representation. Again, TikTok, I wonder if that is where all this nonsense is spreading, because these social activists and things, I don't think they have a real understanding of the world. I enjoyed Beetlejuice 2, and it was great to escape for an hour or two and just forget about your life. I was having the worst morning ever that morning. I received terrible news, and I went to the movie theater afterwards, and to just watch that movie and just have a laugh and get immersed into that world, and also bring back the nostalgia from the first movie from years ago when I'd seen it as a child. It was amazing for me. It was something I hadn't experienced in a long time. So when people are now attacking it and saying that it's racist because there's not enough black inclusivity in there, I just don't know where they're coming from with this, because the original story wasn't full of black people either. Why would they change it to make it woke and ruin the original story? Again, you should, if you want woke elements, it needs to be something original that's related to it. It can't just keep doing this where you take beloved franchises and things and just make it work for the sake of it. They would have absolutely have destroyed Beetlejuice 2 if they had done that to the movie. So I'm glad Tim Burton, the most inclusion he had, I guess, was the Soul Train scene, but you know, I actually thought that was a bit cringe because it was a bit like a dad joke thing, but that was my personal opinion. But I mean, really, it's insanity. I don't know what these people are expecting. I feel like they're out of touch, because I don't even think they are the ones that are going to the movie theaters and are supporting these movies. Maybe they haven't even seen the movie themselves. They're just trying to find hate wherever they can. They're just trying to attack things wherever they can, even if it was something that was a good sequel. Well, at least it was for me. So I'm just really annoyed with this. So I don't know, I hope I actually clarified a bit more the stance that I was trying to put forward in the last video, and what my actual opinions, my personal opinions from my perspective, from the circumstances that I live in. And again, I really appreciate what other people had told me about their personal circumstances. It was amazing to hear from other people's sides, because we all see things differently, we all have different experiences, and I think the only way we truly learn is when we talk to each other and, you know, compare things, because what I experience in a third world country is different from what you experience in the USA or Europe or wherever. It's a very different story, but unfortunately we all are exposed also to the Western media, and it does affect all of us. We are forced to play this game or that game that's released in that series that we once held to such esteem, and now it's been ruined because it has to be transformed into this woke thing. So all I want is for the things that I love to just be left alone, to be done faithfully to the source, and for fantasy settings to not have modern politics and things inserted into them for the sake of it, because that honestly should be left out of fantasy settings. If you want to educate people about politics and being politically correct and whatever work things, they should release pure educational videos and see if anybody wants to watch that. That's fine. Then it's just an educational video that's specific to that. It shouldn't be just randomly inserted into a Dragon Age game or into a movie or into whatever. It shouldn't be randomly just thrown in there. It has to be done in a smart way, or just forget about it. So that's my 2 cents, and I hope it's much clearer in this video. Again, if you guys like this video, if you found it engaging, please remember to like and subscribe. And I really, really do enjoy interacting with you guys. And this has been an amazing experience just to be able to have that opportunity. Sorry if you hear chickens in the background. Yes, I have chickens. It feels like a bit of a farm around me, yeah. But anyway. So with regards to future content, that's something I also want to discuss, and I'll discuss that in another video. I think I also need to maybe do a proper introduction video as well about myself, because I haven't actually done that, like a proper trailer video for those that might be interested. So yeah, we'll take it from there, and I really do appreciate all the guys that actually took the time to engage with me and to interact with me. It's such a rewarding experience 99% of the time. Unfortunately, there's the rotten apple that falls through the cracks and doesn't know how to actually say anything to defend themselves or come with a valid argument, but you know, that's how people are. So there are some people that just go around throwing hate from one video to the next, and then they complain that they're surrounded by all these sort of things. And they don't actually understand how the YouTube algorithm actually works. So if you're going to complain about that, then maybe you should Google these issues first before you complain about that. But anyway, that's just my opinion on the matter. So again, if you like my channel, please remember to like and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys again soon.